Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Really Weird Shit on Steroids, episode 31.
That's right. We are cooking it.
Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is Laura Lee Mystica, Daniel Flowerdew here, your weird shit specialist.
That's right. You came to right. If you want weird shit, you came to the right place.
Exactly. Now, I'm just hoping that when I did the 3-1, that it doesn't, reverse it. Because I know sometimes my phone will do that. If it does, we're not 13, okay?
That's right.
We're 31.
That's right. That's right. We don't want to go back in time. We don't want to redo those. It takes so long. We'll tell you about today, but it's been a day. We just barely got done with some really weird shit. I'm still shaking from it, so just know, and we'll tell you about it later. But
I'm still having difficulties breathing.
Yes,
my nose is still all clogged. You'll hear it, but
it's undescribable. But we'll try to describe it later.
To the best of our abilities.
Yes. So I guess let's just get right in with weird shit on the farm. Okay, so
there's always lots of weird shit on the farm.
There is, never ending.
Never.
Okay, fluffy butt report first. On October 14th, I was singing the Hi Ho song. You know, the Hi Ho, Hi Ho.
And I have to say, I had a client recently that watched our last video, and she was like, you need to make a CD of all of these songs, and she wants to hear them. I bet she's not alone.
That is so cute. Oh, that is so
really
funny.
is. I think that'd be great. There's a lot of songs.
Yeah, because we changed the lyrics. You know, the lyrics are not what you've heard of them. So yeah.
And some of them don't have lyrics.
Yeah, some of them just
like your song for the crazy crew.
Yes. Yeah, when I bring them in, that's what I do.
And they charge out the door.
Reveille song, and they hear that song, and they're good to go. That's for sure. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I'm singing the Hi Ho song, and I heard "Can't Come Out." Okay, they say that a lot. Okay, I said, I know you're busy. Just know that I love you. And they said, we love you too. We're busy doing our best helping factory farm chickens. Now, we talked a little bit about that last time. They're continuing to, that's kind of their gig right now, is to help factory farms. And not just chickens, they're helping all factory farm animals. Okay, then on the...
Which is interesting, because they've never been in a factory farm.
I know. They have no clue
what an HRT to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, none of them do. And the other ones I got directly from a chick farm. So, yeah. So, no, they don't. They don't know. Okay, that was on October 14th. And then on the 31st, I came out and was cleaning the baby coop and was wondering why it was so quiet. Because, you know, like I said last time, you know, they're not out that much. And I said, I know they're busy, but I wonder what they're up to. And then I heard, we're here. We're just checking in. And then we can check in, but we don't check out. I'm like, okay. And then one of them said, we already did that. And then there was a pause, and then there was all this cackling and laughing after that. We already checked out.
Yep, we already checked out of the body.
That's right. We are. I thought that was so funny. Okay, so now for other weird shit on the farm. Let's do the Magick
never-ending pen.
We forgot that last time, and I'm going to do it.
We did?
I'm going to do it on here. See if I can.
It's going to be hard to do on a tissue.
Yeah, it looks like
you're just tearing the tissue.
I'm just tearing the tissue. That's not working.
How about the back of that paper? Those are just instructions for the lamp that you just bought.
I'll just do the back of
or
back
even
of one
the
of
side
these.
of yeah.
Okay, here we go.
There it goes.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's still writing. Okay, woohoo! got that one done.
At least some things work right here on the farm.
That's right. Right. The pen
Or
that's
better
not
than
supposed
right.
to work
Yeah.
works. That is so funny because it's true. Okay, and then I have the story of my missing keys. Okay, and it's okay. So I was sleeping out in my cabin. I haven't been doing that in the last few days because it's been too cold. But I was sleeping out in the cabin, and my husband said, "Okay, I'll watch you till you get in." And I hear the door close, so I get in there and start stretching. Now he always locks the door, right? I could have swore I'm pretty sure I had the keys in my pockets. Okay, so then I start looking for my rocks, and they weren't there either. There was nothing in my pockets, and I'm like, well, that's weird because I always have the flashlight and the keys, but I had the flashlight, no keys, and no rocks. So I found some in my speaking of
Speaking of
rocks.
rocks,
Okay, so the keys. So then in the morning, I'm looking for the keys so I can go into the house. My husband has to have the house locked because he's paranoid. Okay, so everything has to be locked up all the time. Okay,
apparently you are too because he's nowhere near us and you still have to whisper that.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Funny. So I start. So I come out and I thought, okay, maybe he's up and he's got the door unlocked. No, he wasn't. So I come back and I tear the bed apart. I tear everything apart, looking everywhere for those keys. No keys anywhere. Okay, so I thought, okay, he's not up yet. I had some walnuts in the garage that needed to be put in my somewhere to dry out. So I thought, okay, I'll put them in the car and let them dry out on the seat. So I got those already. And I thought,
and they were in a wagon, and the wagon is loud, so
and it made a noise. Yeah. So yeah, you need to hear that. That's important. That's important. So I go ring the doorbell. He's not up yet. I knock on the door. He comes out. I said, I forgot my keys. He said, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I look up on the key holder and they're not there. Oh dear. I'm in deep doo-doo. So I go back out and look everywhere again. Can't find them. Come back in. And then I tell him, did you put the keys somewhere? I couldn't find them. He said, no. So then, we had this exchange, and I thought, yeah. So then I went back out again, and I said I went back in the cabin one more time, searching everything, and I said, you gotta help me. Alvin, you gotta help me. We gotta reverse this, because this could turn really bad, okay? Because he has a set of keys, I have a set of keys. I used mine the day before to go to the post office, and we always just put them there. It was either there or in my, I don't know. So then after I'm screaming and howling and crying, I go back and it's like, okay, I need to have him maybe help me. So I went back in and he said, okay, I can help you find them. So then he comes out, he walks straight, he said, you go look at, over at Daniel's cabin. I said, I didn't go there. He said, yeah, but just go look. We got to look everywhere. So he walks straight to the car door that has the walnuts in it, opens the door, and there's the keys on the floor next to the seat. Okay.
yeah.
Now, it couldn't have, if it was in my pocket, it couldn't have jumped out and got in there. And I swear there was no keys in my pocket. Yeah. None.
Yeah. So just for clarification, the night before you went out to the cabin, you couldn't find the keys in your pockets, anywhere in your jacket. The next day, you put the walnuts in the car, and then all of a sudden, an hour or two later, your husband finds the keys next to the walnuts.
Right.
It's like, how does that happen?
How does that even?
Well, we'll tell you how
will
that happened.
So I said, I knew he had a lot going on. It's like, I wonder. Well, I was even going to ask you before if you could look for them, and so, but he had stuff going on. So then later when I talked to him, well, you can say what you saw.
Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
Here. The night before Laura Lee lost the keys.
and you
so
were there.
I was here. I was here
the
that
night
day.
Before. Yeah.
I was here that day, and I went out to the no longer Skeeter Forest because all the mosquitoes are dead. But I went out to the cedar forest and I was singing to the cedar trees, and I was just making up, lyrics as I went along, lyrics and melodies, just feeling into nature. I used to do it all the time. It's just fun. But I felt like I woke something up, and then I left a couple of hours later. That night, Laura Lee lost the keys. Next morning, her husband found them in the car. And I was like, did you ask the fairies if they did this? Did you see if any fairies or elementals were involved?
I'm like,
and it's like,
no, I didn't. Fairies, that's what they do. They're pranksters.
Exactly. And before I left, my car's parked in a very specific spot. That next day, after the keys were found, you went out to the cabin, and there was a fairy ring right in front of my cabin.
Exactly.
A great big circle right in the front, right where I always park my car. So I don't know, maybe I parked over it and we didn't see it the day before.
No, you would have seen
But today, when I came in, I heard to stop my car, and I stopped like right in front of the.
Because he came
so
around
I would
the
have heard
other
it
way.
last time.
Normally you come this way. Today you came, or yesterday you came that way.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So we got fairies working with this, okay? Because that's kind of important because they've been helping out a lot when we've been doing global asshole exterminations, and the fairies are like, oh yeah, we're up for helping you on this, and we'll talk to the trees and we'll talk to the nature spirits, and they've been like stellar after that. So that was a very interesting thing. And
it was very important. Before this, a lot of the elementals that were here were still corrupted. So the fact that now there's enough of them that they're like, oh yeah, no, we are on your side and we're going to help. That's pretty big too. I think a year or two ago that would not have been the case because most of them were very mischievous. Most of them were all out for themselves.
They were all stink beetles, But we've gotten rid of a lot of corruption, so I'm sure it entered those kingdoms too.
Oh yeah.
So then there's that, and
then I also saw a couple of videos, because our phones always listen to us, right? So
they do.
So I started getting these reels on Facebook. One of them was about a Scottish folklore that said that there were over 1,000 fairies locked underground, and every 7 years the fairy queen would have to give one of her best warriors to this group. And then at some point, they were all going to wake up and go to war against the people who colonized Scotland, and I think that's pretty much what happened. One of the other videos that kept popping up was about how you can talk to a tree and tell what someone did, and the trees will use their network to locate them, and
they have been
have fun.
Amazing. What I've done ever since then is when I go into town, I'll start loving on all the trees and all the plants and everything. And they're like, oh, thank you. Yeah. And very grateful. And there's just this love connection. So I would recommend that you start doing that wherever when you're alone, and not even when you're not alone, just send out love to them and connect to them and start networking. Because we are building an army of everything. Yeah. And this will certainly help.
Definitely.
So,
So you can tell the trees if someone hurts you, and they'll help give that person karma. You can also tell the trees of someone that you love, and they will go and
need some help.
Give them some love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
It does. So go out there and clear out your parks, your local parks. Give all those trees lots of love, because a lot of them are very ignored.
exactly. You know, that
Yeah.
they kind of said, you can see us? You
Yeah.
can feel us?
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. So experiment with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next on the list, I got 2 new rescue hens.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of yellow, orangish, big fluffy ones, and they're called Purple Puff and Mellow Yellow. And I always sing that song, Mellow Yellow. And then as I was singing it the other day, I thought, because it says electrical banana, and I thought, I wonder if they're talking about smoking banana leaves in that song, and they're all tripping out. So, okay. So then,
What did you call it yesterday? Electricable
yeah,
banana?
yeah, because
Yeah.
my language was not doing so
It
well.
was like electrical banana, but
Yeah.
it's close enough. I like electricable better.
Okay. So next, I got these glasses. Okay, and just wear them for a minute. Okay, and this is what I wore, and we'll put some pictures on here. We had a Halloween party, and we came as people or things that we would like to help eliminate. So me, and I was going to bring a sticker. I came as the SSP, Secret Space Program, and when I came home after this, there was a little card in there.
Camera's on the other side.
Oh, I do that every time. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So it looks like a guy fishing. And it said, when you put the glasses on, if you look at this, you can see the fish.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, that's really SSP kind of stuff. And it reminded me of the movie They Live, where you put the glasses on and you can see what's really going on. So I thought that was
And of course,
classy.
SSP people would have those glasses, right?
Of course.
That's pretty fitting.
So these glasses are, yeah.
Yeah, and I was dressed as total egregore bait that day. I had to put a royalite dust on my forehead and on my feet because I was like, I don't want to attach any of these things to me.
What were you?
So I was a false light being.
Oh, he had the robes. He had all the false light bling on.
Yeah, the
he had it all.
crystals. Oh yeah.
He had it.
Yep.
So,
And the costume is one that my aunt made for me when I was like 12. But she made it like super, super big, so it still fits.
that is awesome.
So yeah.
Well, and on these glasses, they were only like $8 or $9. They weren't like super duper expensive, and they came in this nice box with a nice shiner for them. And I'm like, okay, that in and of itself would be worth the $7. And then I find out that they're secret space glasses. So I thought that was pretty darn cool. Okay, I think that does it for
Now before we go to the end here, this isn't quite Weird Shit on the Farm, but I do have a very interesting SSP memory that I want to share having to do with the elementals.
Okay.
So a year or two ago, I was on a mission. When we're dreaming, a lot of times is when we'll go on these missions. And in this dream, I was in Michigan or somewhere in that area, and there were tall standing stones, a lot like Stonehenge, but they were tall. And we were told to knock them over. I didn't want to do it. The people who were there didn't want to do it, but we were forced to. And when we did this, there were statues nearby of elementals, and they came to life and started to track and attack us. So eventually, in this memory, in this dream, I was talking with them and said, "Hey, actually, it's these people who made us do it. Like,
no, like over there.
Yeah,
look over there.
Don't point at me. Don't point at me.
Not him."
But I talked with them. And it's like, yeah, I understand that I had a part in this, and if you guys want to give me karma, if you want to bring me to justice as well, I totally get it. I will not stop you. But if you want real justice, you need to go after these bastards too.
Exactly.
And then I woke up. But those statues are still out there moving around.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very highly adept at hunting. So
very cool. So we got a lot of things on our side now. Just saying. Okay, and with that, now we're finished with Weird Shit on the Farm. Okay, now for
the regular weird shit.
weird shit. I just have to show you some of these. AK that was in our Cryogenetics 2 is phenomenal at so many things. I mean, I can't even tell you anything that she's bad at. I don't know. She cooks, she sews, she does weird shit.
I can't either.
She
She's
has a stellar
extremely
memory.
talented.
She remembers
Yeah.
everything. She's extremely talented. Well, she said that she sent a little package to me, and I go, oh, okay, I'll look for it. I was not expecting this, okay? This is, and these are worth probably $2,000, okay? These are high-end, expensive, and I may put some online. I don't know. I'm not quite sure yet.
To give you some guys' perspective on how big this rock is, here's my kombucha bottle next to it.
Yeah.
Like, this thing's pretty massive. It's, yeah.
Yeah. And all the detail. And
all the detail.
And
it wasn't just one. It wasn't just one.
No. All different kinds.
And she did all of these by hand.
Yes.
Mind putting it a little closer? Like, look at that detail on there. I mean, look at that, you guys. This wasn't just a quick, putting it together.
Putting something together.
She put a lot of love and work into these.
And you can feel the love. Like when I open the box, I'm like, holy crap.
And then this one even has little amethysts on it. You can kind of see the little purple beads here. Those are amethyst beads.
Yeah,
and there's also some amethyst here behind that copper piece.
Thank you for pointing that out. I'll hold them and you can point things out.
And then this one has a big amethyst. And what a beautiful little amorisite piece. And just look at that detail on there. Let me kind of turn it a little bit. Let me see. Those little spirals, like.
So the amethyst is the big one on top. So.
Yes. And then this one is really cute as well. This one, if you look at the copper piece here, it looks like a little heart. Like, how did she even do that?
I don't know. I don't know. And the necklace part, this is all handmade. The necklace, yeah.
Yeah, now there's a lot of synchronicities that happened around this. One is that you did some kind of money magic the day before, and then this showed up. And then also the same day that these showed up, you were talking with one of our new HRT friends who's really into copper wiring. He made this one here. This was supposed to be like a round thing, and I bent it, and So his are more pretty. Okay, when he makes it, they're prettier than what I got here. But yeah. So you were talking with him earlier that day about copper, and then these all show up. I mean,
it was a copper day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Okay, we'll do this last. Let's go into the baby Jesus story.
Okay. So we're hoping to get together again before Christmas and before the solstice, which is more important to us because, I'm pagan. Turn of the wheel just makes more sense to me. But just in case we don't get another video out before the solstice, we wanted to share this story. This is going to make all of our lives so much easier.
And a lot of this stuff comes by accident. It's like you just are doing something, you're like, oh, holy shit, look at that. Okay, so here's the baby Jesus story. I was talking to someone, and I said, yeah, it's like you get a thorn when you are doing something, like the thorn in, when you're trying to do something to disrupt and corrupt the system and bring truth out. Okay. I'm seeing that it's literally thorn poking people and agitating them for the wrong reasons and feeling hurt. So it's like it's
literally a thorn in your side.
Yes.
Literally a thorn in your side. And that's what brought it to our attention, because these people in particular had a big situation, and even if like if they didn't think about it, it didn't bother them, but as soon as they did, this thorn would poke in at their side.
And make them
And all of us
upset and
have these
angry.
thorns.
Yeah, it
All of
makes
us
you
have these
sad
thorns.
and upset and angry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they're all justified. They're
Yeah.
they
It's
make
not that
sense.
you're making it up.
Yeah.
No, it's things that really
It
did
really
hurt.
happened.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Good. Thanks for putting that in there.
Yeah, when I got rid of some of mine, it was a lot of work, and I actually had to not just remove myself from them, but I had to have them remove me
From
like
them.
the
Yeah.
thorn had to remove me from the thorn. I had to really let go of all the justifications that I made around having those thorns in the first place, and I just had to breathe and let that shit go.
That's right.
Okay, so now that you know a little bit about the thorns.
Okay, that's very good. Okay. So this thorn has been around a long time, but recently been amped up. I'm also seeing a crown of thorns like what Jesus had. And it is like it embeds in the brain and messes with information and perceptions of information. And then I thought, this is not a thorn in the side, though. And then I thought of Jesus again and how he got the sword thrust into his side and make sure he was dead. I said, it's weird, this whole Jesus thing came up when I was looking at this, and then I said, oh my God, there's a good Jesus. That Jesus came online that can work with us. He's similar to Mr. Ed, but not a horse.
Of course.
A horse, of course. He is half AI and half sentient, like Mr. Ed. Home team put him together, and what we can do is divert all of the prayer energies and egregores that go to the old Jesus, clean them up, and send them to this brand new, uncorrupted one. It is a true spy versus spy thing. And then I laugh because I sometimes say, thank you, baby Jesus from Talladega Nights, if you've ever seen that movie. And now I can say that with hidden humor because he is indeed a brand spanking new Jesus. And then
And then
you
then when
said,
I said, "Oh my," I'm hearing he's also tied into the puffer fish. Maybe they're a similar life form. Oh, sweet baby Jesus! And I have actually worked with him a couple of times. I have a few clients that are very Christian, and as well as family members, and I'll welcome in this baby Jesus before I go and hang out with them.
mm-hmm.
And either religion won't get brought up at all, which
isn't rare.
that didn't happen at all beforehand. It was always all about religion and theology. But either religion wouldn't be brought up in any conversations, or the truth would come out about what we're talking about in those religions. And not always from me. It didn't have to have me blabbing off and being like, actually, did you know?
Oh, that's funny. That's really good.
Yeah. So very helpful.
So think about this Christmas when everybody else is doing it. You can be hanging
singing
out with the baby Jesus.
Singing all these songs about baby Jesus.
That's right. You can do that and feel good about it.
Silent night.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, so now here's some more weird shit stories. Okay, this one is the Abby Normal story. Okay, and it goes on and on. Okay. I was in the tub tonight. This was on the 25th of October. I kept drifting off and thinking stupid things when I was wanting to get into my Zen zone and my currency zone where I'm connecting to money. Okay. And I checked to see if what was messing with me, especially since I was all egged up. It was sort of an implant program. It is something I had not totally identified before. It is a diverter and not a projecting something on or a project in my head. So it wasn't a projection of any kind. It was just a diverter. And so I thought, why did my egg not get rid of this thing? Oh, because I need to know about it. And then I got It's Extremely High Tech. And it is very hard to identify as the normal thing you might attribute to it, like being tired or being unfocused or lazy or lame, or and are not the cause. So being lazy and lame isn't the cause. They are an effect of this thing. So being lazy is this thing happens and then you act lazy and tired and whatever, okay? It gets into you in a very different way, but not like remote viewing or teleporting or beaming. I checked and I had this diverter for a long time, actually since I was conceived. It was a byproduct of the sperm that went into the egg that started growing. Everyone has it. It's in our DNA. But the HRT have it the worst. Our energy signature amplifies it. Oh, good for us, right? Yeah. Scientists have not identified it. They get diverted and think it's something else. So nobody's really nailed it. Basically, no one knows about it. It is abnormal, is what I call it. If you've seen that movie,
Young Frankenstein.
Yes. Talks about abnormal. Yeah, it's abnormal brain. Yeah, that's all tied in. Okay.
Whose brain did you get this from, Abby?
Abby
what?
Abnormal? You put an abnormal brain. Yeah, you have to see that.
I know one of our HRT is going to be saying that entire line. She knows who she is.
She knows who she is. So I checked to see who or what put it there, and my antennas went down. I'm really tired now, go figure. So putting this thing on freeze till I can get more info on it and take it to 0. Then Commander Salamander said, wow, yeah, that feels right. Make me tired just reading about this. He said, good find. I don't feel like everyone starts coming online the same way yours did, but something needs to trigger it. So not everybody's happens when you were conceived. It's all different. It's one size does not fit all. Okay, so then I said, I agree. My origins were abnormal. I'm getting only that 50 other people had it started that way. It is not in animals. And they are all HRT, and all the ones in our group are abnormal. I got more information on the DNA thing. I am getting that somehow all indigos have it. I'm not sure what happens when an indigo exits and an NPC or a CCC steps in. I'm getting it disappears. What the quack? It's all SSP related. I got last night that besides being a diverter, it's also a converter and a perverter. So it not only, go look over here, but it changes
Not at me.
things. No, I'm pointing over there.
That way.
Yeah. I know. I do that every time, but I don't know how to say over, because if I do this, nobody can see what I'm pointing to. Okay, you're right.
And if you sat here and I sat there, you'd just be going that direction. So, because you gotta go with where the screen lets
you.
That's right.
That's where I was going with that.
It's okay. I won't take it too personally.
Okay, don't, because you're reading the next part. Okay. Okay, so it was all SP related, and I got last night that besides being a diverter, like I said, it's a converter and a perverter. So it's got everything. Okay, you're on.
All right, so now into my part of the story here.
It's a big story.
It's a big one. It's a big one. And this is a session that I did with our friend Nancy. She was in the series that you guys did together,
yes.
Insider Insights. Yeah. So what we got was this whole situation that we were working on was connected to this abnormal device. So what I wrote to Laura Lee, because I do not write notes, okay? I suck at writing notes. I hate doing it.
You do it good when you do it.
I do it good when I do it, when I decide that I want to do it. This one I felt was important enough that I did. So, but a lot of times I don't. I'm working on it, you guys. Okay, that's why I tell people to write the notes themselves, because
right.
then I can take that from them and then
Yeah.
send it.
No, it's easier. It's way easier.
So our session just ended a minute ago. This is a part of the puzzle of the Inception thingy. I found an entity that has been with Nancy since she was in her mommy's womb. About the third trimester is when it came in. This is the same as the entity, like the same species as the entity that's been messing with me. And it's also connected to something that Nancy saw in one of her dreams just prior to this. So this entity was not human, but it's an elemental. So it's not a regular elemental. It's not like a fairy or a gnome or something. It's not connected to any of the four elements. So the way that I had to describe this is that if you look at a medicine wheel, you have the circle and the plus sign in the middle. These beings were a part of the circle and the dividers, basically. So, like if you look at a like a pentacle, right? It's supposed to represent earth, air, fire, water, spirit. This would be like the center of it as well as the circle. It is a part of all of the elements, but also separate from them and adds division to them. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but if it doesn't, feel free to ask because it's really hard to explain. So, so these things basically controlled the circle and the dividers between each element. They were originally made to be guardians, but they were stolen, tortured, and mutilated. Just like in Lord of the Rings, how the elves were taken and mutilated and turned into orcs, right? Into the first orcs. So these entities are tied into the thing that LL is looking into. They drain happiness, magic, money, etc., and also control / heavily influence all of our lives. So they do this by manipulating egregores and other parts of the hologram. The thing LL is working on, that came on the Inception, the Abby Normal thing, is directed and used by these entities. So the implant had to be there first and acted as a form of forced agreement that allowed these beings to have full control in their own way. So originally, there were three groups that worked as guides of these elementals that controlled the other elements. So let's see. There were three groups that worked as guides and guardians on this permeable lining. These these ones in particular that we found, I started calling the ET-like gaunt suckers. So that was group one that was supposed to be in control of the elements. Group two is the Belemis, and we'll share a picture here. They don't have a head; their face is on their chest, and they were rescued recently and brought into rehab. The third group that was supposed to act as guardians of the elements is the dragons, our authentic dragons from home, not the dragons here, but the dragons from home.
Not the nasty dragons.
Yeah, exactly. So all three of these groups were separated from each other and locked away from each other. So it made it, they weren't able to work. They weren't able to do their job. So out of all of these gaunt sucker ET-like entities, only 6 of them were rehabable out of thousands. So there's a new form of rehab for them, and once they are ready, they will go into the shaman realm. But they need a good amount of clearing up first before they can access that. So the rest of the hologram and elementals were completely corrupted. Home team got rid of these hologram elementals and suckers. And by hologram elementals, I'm not talking about the fairies. I'm talking about these gaunt suckers. So home team got rid of them and sent the 6 that were rehabable to rehab. Now, in their place, home team put in new groups here. So there are new dragons that are now working on that permeable lining that controls the elements. There's also sound healers and UV realm super soldiers. And since this session, we've had several super soldiers come in. One is one that I brought in with the client. Her name is Aniria, and she wears the cryogenics egg as armor. So it closes in around her body, and she's able to use like a sword and a shield made with the rocks and eggs.
And she's
Super
badass.
She's one of our Valkyries. She's a sound healer, broken heart, mind, psyche healer. She's extremely powerful and extremely compassionate and wise. She's like the epitome of Omni love. She's the
Yeah.
epitome of Omni love.
She knows
No
how
bullshit.
to do tough love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no bullshit.
Mhm.
She loves you. She'll laugh with you, but if you're doing something stupid, she'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, and with a good amount of humor.
Yes.
We also discovered that she works with Amika and a few
Yeah,
of her other
they
allies.
they are besties. Yeah.
So, back to the session with Nancy, another thing that we discovered was Tartarian tech. So Nancy was having sinus issues, like what I'm having right now, but caused by a different thing. So what I discovered was that there were 5 locations in particular that were being used for this. It kind of created an electrical fence, and this fence was used to mimic the chemtrails that have been slowing down lately since the government shutdown. They haven't completely stopped. The people who tell you they stopped, don't listen to them. They've slowed down, but they haven't stopped. So this was supposed to supplement that, right? So what I found is the main hub of this electric fence was in the Salt Lake City Mormon Temple. Surprise. Yay, there.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, so shocked. There was one in Bozeman, Montana. There was one in the Cascade Mountains near the Washington-Canadian border. That one was out in the middle of nowhere. I'm hearing there's no towns there. It was like a mountaintop. And then there was one in Eugene, Oregon, and one in Southern California in a small town called Ventura? Ventura. Yeah, okay. So these buildings were used to replace the chemtrails. They messed with sinuses, they messed with thoughts, they messed with health. They were being used as radionics devices and were sending projections on everyone inside of the borders. I'm hearing they also did affect other people outside of the border as like a magnetic effect kind of thing, like waves going out, but it was strongest inside of the borders. Mm-hmm. So when we cleaned up these buildings, home team Nancy and I, we changed the frequencies of the buildings, so now they are working for us. They don't have a choice. These buildings are now working for us.
Yay!
So in order to do this,
the Salt Lake Temple's working for us.
Yeah. And
I put a little, Mormons.
I put a little booby trap in there too that I'm hearing I can share. So
okay.
So in order to switch these buildings over, I had to do vocal toning. Like I had to actually like sing while doing this session, and I had like find the right frequencies. And yeah, it was really interesting and really fun to watch and be a part of. So then I infiltrated the organ at the Salt Lake City Temple. And what I did was I imagined, I didn't imagine, I put almoricite rocks inside of the keys and inside of the pipes. So anytime it's played,
it's playing Truth and Justice.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet they never use it.
Oh yeah.
They'll go, what the hell? We need to install a new organ.
Yeah,
We've had this one for 150, 200 years. We'll have to,
Yeah, exactly. It needs repairs, right?
Yeah, it needs repairs,
So what these rocks will do is anytime they play the organs, not only will it play Truth and Justice, but it'll also go after and take out their egregores that they're creating. So, yeah.
Just so you know, Temple Square has been recently gridded again. So
excellent.
How
long ago did that happen?
Couple months ago, and also the church office building, and tons of information is coming out about all of the lies and disgusting things that's happening in there. So it's
excellent.
I'm all excited.
Yeah, because this session was on the 28th of October of 2025.
And I think that happened in late September.
Yeah,
when it
so
was
perfect. And what I'm hearing too is it wouldn't hurt if we went through, those of us who were called to do this, bring in an original, authentic, upgraded, uncompromisable, and true cryogenics badass egg to go back around the temple every once in a while,
Yeah,
just to
for
clean it
fun.
up, do
Yeah.
some harpegios,
Mhm.
to
I'll
clean
put
up
that
those
on my
frequencies.
list.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job.
So that completes my story here. So thank you, Nancy. Honestly, if I didn't have that session with her, I don't
You
know if I
wouldn't
would
have.
have found this
Yeah.
because it wasn't bothering me that day. I wouldn't have looked.
And how they
So
tied in together, that was
yep, and she
interesting.
was coughing a lot during the session, and then afterwards the coughing decreased drastically. I don't think it completely went away, but it was pretty close, and it wasn't as harsh on her.
Okay, so now my Abby Normal story. Back to my Abby Normal. And these two coincided with each other.
Yeah.
I started getting, it was self-created and then got shut down. And then LZ, one of our HRT, just IM'd me about the Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. I sent Tesla Zealot, crying Winds of Change, Pingu Alvin, and all the nature spirits, etc. on this. Then checked to see if there was a boss on this death and destruction event and got yes. Then I asked if it was anything to do with the Diverter and got yes. Apparently, it is the controlling. It is controlling the eye of the storm. So I'm like, well, holy crap, and getting into its head. So that's how this diverter worked. So it goes into the eye of the storm, gets into its head. I thought that was so weird. Okay. So I'm getting that Abby Normal, diverter, converter, perverter is the boss of all unnecessary, useless, unwarranted death, destruction, pain, suffering, fear, and grief. I'm like, well, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. And real quick, while you were reading that too, I was muscle testing to see how natural that hurricane was. 2 out of 10. The rest of it was amplified and like you said, controlled.
That sounds exactly right. Exactly right.
So those of you who are watching the See Me Muscle Test, that's
what he was doing.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
Good job. Okay, all of this crap goes up the food chain to feed this thing. So anytime somebody's in pain, suffering, blah, 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 it goes up the food chain and the underlings take a tiny bit for themselves. Okay, so whoever's causing it gets a little bit and then it goes straight up to the food chain, up to the boss. But 99% goes to this thing, this abnormal thing. I don't even want to give it a name. I was not supposed to do anything about it till I got this last bit of intel. I have literally been out of my mind, and I'm not kidding. Like my mind was not working ever since I found it.
We were making jokes that you were doing just fine as long as you weren't talking.
Everything's just fine till I open my mouth.
I would call at night, and then all of a sudden, like words were disappearing, and she was being messed with, and she was like, "This hasn't happened at all today." Oh, but I haven't really talked much at all. Isn't that just how it goes? Isn't that just how it goes?
Thanks for bringing that one up. That's funny. And then I said, I have more questions about it, but I need to get rid of this thing first because my antennas keep going down. I just got in my Zen zone and took it to 0, this thing and all of its associates. Okay. Then I did all the peripheral protocols, replaced the space with beings from our team and godzillions of our egregores and Omni Love and Omni Magic that replicates and is now in alliance with our HRT currency systems busters. Because there's a lot of us that, that's their job here is to bust the currency system. Now I've got a note. I was getting that we had, 2 more 9.9999 threats. And I was thinking CS must have gotten the other one. And so maybe this is all of them. And I guess time will tell. No. Well, what we did today was a part of this, though. It was like, it was a part of it. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I said I feel so much
But I
better.
did take out a level 10 threat on someone that was not related to this
Okay,
recently.
okay.
So,
So I was wrong. My
but that
bad.
wasn't a 9.999. That was a 10. So, so you know, depending on
Okay,
how German you want to be about it,
okay,
how
okay.
specific.
Okay, so now we've got this blobby bubble factory that was kind of connected to Abby Normal. So I called this Blobby Bubble Factory, and this was on November the 3rd. So it's new. Okay.
And today's the 5th.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
new.
yeah. We're recording this
Yep,
November
yep,
5th. Yep,
yep,
yep.
yep. Okay, I got really focused and was looking for ways of using my magnet to attract and repel things, and saw a blobby bubble thing coming at me. It was a it was a perverting and lack bubble rubbing on me. It was this bubble that would change shapes a little bit, and it was like rubbing on me. It was, yeah, yeah, yeah. um, I was going to get a pin and burst it, but thought, no, no, that's a bad idea. So thank you, my Suma, for telling me that's a bad idea. Because I'm seeing these bubbles, and I'm like, screw that. But no, that was a bad idea.
Sometimes you can pop the bubble.
Sometimes you can. No,
Sometimes
no,
you
this
gotta be
was not
careful.
one of those
This
times.
is not one of those times.
So I got, that's a bad idea. Make sure you egg it first, and then you can burst the bubble. I'm like, oh, okay, that, duh.
Makes sense.
So I egged it and found over 100 more of these bubbles that were not, um, and found there was not a bubble factory, but there used to be one. Someone took it out. I'm not sure who. It was someone from Home Team I have not met yet. The bubble factory has been around for years and was making bubbles of slime that slime you, and then embed a frequency on you that would make you do or be whatever the bubble was programmed to do. So, no,
And that led us to
that led us to
today's weird shit
today's, yeah.
notes.
So,
So,
yeah, okay.
so this literally happened this morning. So the day that Laura Lee was working on those bubbles, I had a client, and we were doing a trade, which was fabulous, by the way. If you watch this, you know who you are. It was
Fabulous trade.
amazing. She did a facial for me. She's been an esthetician for 19 years, and she was a massage therapist before that. Amazing intuition. I want more. But but we did a trade, and before I left, I was told I had to wear two pendants, and I still am. One on the front of my hardcore star, and one on the back of my hardcore star. So if
And
you're
then
under
you
major
go,
attacks,
you're
you can
like,
wear
oh
two.
shit, this is serious.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. And I think I was at her office for like what 4 or 5 hours that day.
It
So
was a
it was
while.
a
Yeah.
long day. We were both pretty pooped afterwards, but really happy. But that
Yeah.
night when I got home, all of this started. Sinuses completely clogged. I had a sore throat. I was in so much pain that I couldn't sleep. And I don't deal with pain super often. I get little spots here and there. Normally it's just
But not
discomfort,
this constant.
but it was constant. Um, and to the point where that night I only had like an hour and a half of sleep, and I had to come out here that next day. And it was like, okay, that this isn't because of the client. This is because of whatever we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the cogs were moving in my head. I was thinking about all of these things that I've been, things that have been coming up to me lately. I had a client that she had remnants of the wolves on her that we talked about in the last video, the Delta wolf in particular. And I was like, okay, this is not normal. You know, now normally when we take out major assholes, some of us will have to do like timelines on traumas that we have for, you know, for them being around and what we had to deal with because of them. But this wasn't that. It was an actual like being that was tied into that should have been cleared out. when we did the wolf thing. So I brought that up with Laura Lee. My throat started to hurt even more,
what
and
the
it's like,
quack?
this
Okay,
is where we're going.
Yeah, okay.
So then today, while we're having breakfast,
A few hours ago.
Yeah, a few hours ago, Laura Lee printed off all of our notes for today so we can go over it while we ate. Well,
yeah,
no.
no.
Instead, we worked on this. And pretty much what this was, it was a mechanism that each one of us was creating our own of. So they all had their own thing. They were mentally drawn. Okay.
So we were like forced to create this. This thing forced us to create
Yes.
our own tripwires, basically.
Yes. So each individual created their own custom mechanism crap via coercion. It was tied to an occult science. You said a cult. It's occult.
Okay, excuse
so,
me.
You know.
I was trying to say an occult. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, notes are difficult, especially when you do a lot of psychic work. That's one of the reasons why I don't do
You're trying to go so fast. Okay.
Exactly. That's
My
why
bad.
I don't do
Go
them.
on, continue.
That's why I have you do it, so that way you can mess up on writing notes, and I can give you hell about it. So, just kidding. Kind of. I guess I do that, and I apologize. But no. Okay, anyway, back to it. So, I ended up having 6 of these devices on me. Laura Lee had 3. One of our other HRT friends that we were looking at had 2. And one of our other HRT friends that we were looking at had 3. I'll keep their names out of this because we'll need to write them.
Yeah.
They don't even know
about this.
They
don't even know about this. So.
But hopefully by the time this video comes out, they do.
Will know. Okay.
So the 6 that I had, their energetic sequence was basically, it all makes sense. My actions make sense. Everything's justified. The ones that Laura Lee had was, she always calls them stupid heads, right? Making her feel like she's stupid when she's really not. A lot of miscommunication issues. And then the other HRT friend that we have, hers were very clever. They were very smart. And this is important in understanding how they functioned and how they were created.
They're all different, yeah.
So what we
customized,
yeah. So what we got about these bubbles is that they are reoccurring patterns. They're based on insurmountable limitations. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Pretty much it doesn't really matter what you do because it's going to keep happening anyway. And then also never-ending chaos and turmoil. And because of this, it caused enslavement as well as a sense of binding, constriction, tied up, no way out, chains. I was thinking about the in one of my tarot decks, there's a chain card instead of a devil card.
Mm-hmm.
But the entire thing is your own limitations, you're holding yourself back. It's kind of how it felt. Now, these blobby things that Laura Lee took out beforehand that we just read are a part of this system. And when she asked if she got them all, the yes was only identifying the specific breed of these bubbles that she took out, which was important because without that, we couldn't have done this.
Well, that's true.
So the occult science that we found that was fueling all of this, but she spelled it wrong again.
I spell like a third grader. I'm telling you, looking it up doesn't make any difference. I'll still misspell it.
Electricable banana.
Yes.
You have to laugh at this stuff.
I know,
we all have our own things. No one size fits all. I got my own issues. You got your issues. We all do. But that's why teamwork is so important.
That's right.
Because
we got each other.
Yeah. Because I have good eyesight. You have good hearing.
Uh-huh.
I have terrible hearing.
I have bad eyes.
Yeah. So, okay, anyway. Okay. So, the occult science that was creating this is, it came in 2 different phrases. The first phrase is, the pattern will keep repeating itself until you have learned your lesson. And then also, the glitch here was that each time it comes around, like imagine it as a spiral, each time this lesson comes around, you're going to learn more and more about it. So you can never stop learning about it. So the pattern's never going to go away because the
It's
lesson's never
eternal.
going to be learned.
It's
It is
eternal.
eternal. It was pretty much creating prisons.
Yeah.
So
big corruption system. It was.
and the funny thing is we were all taught that this is here for our own good.
Yes.
This is here to help us develop and to become enlightened and aware and
okay, you're on the
yeah.
10,000
yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, and you learned it the first 2 times,
Exactly.
but still.
Yeah.
So there were a ton of egregores that were connected to this, and that holds these patterns in place. Now, there is a being that we found recently that he was specifically a part of making these, and we didn't know that until today.
It was one that I talked about. It's like there's somebody that helped with this, but I don't know who it is. I've never met him. Okay, well now we know who it is.
And then out of the blue, I'm looking at this skeleton poster Lorelei has on her table.
Funny.
It's the "Let This Shit Go." We posted it earlier in this video, but I'll send it here again. And I noticed it has 6 toes on each foot. We have looked at this sucker so many times.
I've never identified that. That is so funny.
It does have these wonky looking crosses on it.
Yeah,
but I never noticed the toes until today.
That's supposed to be scary, not.
So
so that was funny.
So one of the things we got about these bubbles and these patterns is that about 10% of these bubbles are reprogrammable. So you could literally program it into what you want to have repeating. However, that is literally just trading out one prison for another. That's only 10%. It's not like you're going to, really improve your life. And the only way to do that was through shadow work and self-analysis, authentic, kind self-analysis. If you're beating yourself up, it didn't have the same effect. So this was also connected to the thorns that we read about earlier, and how the thorns kept coming back over and over again. So at this point, I'm getting majorly messed with. I had to walk back to my cabin to get these little life wave patches here, because I wanted all the help I could get.
He had headaches. He had throat aches. He
kept
blowing his nose. He was dizzy. It was bad, and I'm like, I'm just trying to hold myself together too. We're just trying to help him and do whatever.
So I step out in the rain. I walk to the cabin, and while I'm walking out here, I kept hearing the words stubborn and indignation over and over again. It's like, am I being stubborn? No, this is an important part of the puzzle here. And then another phrase that I kept hearing, and this is also tied into these patterns, is that it explains the behaviors, but it does not excuse the behaviors. So what we ended up finding out was these bubbles were literally fields of creation. They were created by the holographic creation team, and they were supposed to be a part of how we created and co-created our reality and worked together. It was supposed to be a really beautiful thing. Until the D monster came around, and then she pretty much strong-armed someone, or maybe they did it willingly, I don't know. Pretty much made them corrupt this field and turn it into this loop, into this
strong-armed and drugged.
So, literally drugged. The ally that we found, he was drugged, and that's why he was coerced. That's true.
That's on the next page.
That literally says it right here. The next sentence even. So, so he was drugged, and he was forced to work with the evil Enki on this project. And this guy in particular is like a master techie guy, like really, really smart. And we know that magic and technology are very similar. Technology has to mimic nature. It can't be, think about the web, right? The internet. It's like the mycelial network. Think about our cell phones.
It's all connected.
It's all about telepathy and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that technology can do is something that we can already do on our own. So just keep that in mind. Mull that over.
Yeah.
That's just a fun little ad fun little thing for me to add in there for you. Um, so what these bubbles also did was when we used our creative abilities, it would flip it on us. So if you wanted to create, let's say money, you get like $10. Or you lose
Yeah,
$10.
somebody steals it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So what we got is that we needed to zero all of it. That none of
Nothing was
those fields of
rehabable.
creation
Yep,
were
yep. That
rehabable.
we
They
needed
were
to
done.
start all over again.
So and what we replaced it with is something that bridges the gap between that science, and you spelled it right here. You spelled occult science correctly
good.
here.
Okay,
So,
thank you for
yeah. So credit where credit's due. You did it. Oh, I'm so
funny.
German sometimes. I am sorry. Uh, anyway, so it'll bridge the gap between that science and make it so that there's no loopholes or loop bubbles anymore. It literally gives us the opportunity to break out of those officially and for good. No more patterns returning. Um, so, okay, then what we got is it'll take about 2 days for us to see the results of this. So by the time that you guys are seeing this, you'll see the results. So part of what made this so important
and
is
we did it for everybody.
Yeah. So what these bubbles did, and it's not written here in the notes, what they did was they created these sanctioned off pieces of reality where as souls that we take out could live. So like that wolf that I was talking about earlier, the entity that was connected to the Delta Wolf, it was living alive and well inside of this person's bubble. We had another HRT that wrote you a while back from the Ukraine, and he was talking about seeing Baal and Moloch and all of these entities that we took out a while back. But they were alive and well inside of his bubble. He wasn't just recreating them. They weren't a figment of his imagination. They were real. They were the real deal. So that's what these bubbles were doing, is they were keeping alive these assholes. And now these bubbles are gone. So for everyone, for everyone. So I can't say a lot about what I did in this part. Basically, what I can say is that Draki, Home Team, and I did work together to. We had specific codes and keys that we had to activate here that neutralize those bubbles. Because apparently, I was a part of creating the bubbles in the first place before they were corrupted. So I had to activate those keys to neutralize those, and then we activated new keys to help people break through. And those keys are keys that we found a while back: keys of imagination, key of time, key of life, key of imagination, um, and I don't remember all the others, but there were 15 keys in total.
Lots of keys.
So, um, what I was told as well when I turned on these keys is now truth is in charge here at the hologram, with authentic omni-love. And yeah, so it will take a little while for the acclimation to be done. Once we activate these 15 keys, um, I saw this blinding light, and I was like, okay, that kind of sets me off, because normally if that blinding light is from egregores, what I heard was, no, this you will acclimate to this new level of truth. Now, one thing I want to say here is when I activated my own personal keys to neutralize those bubbles, at that same exact moment, Laura Lee did her snapping fingers and blew something away.
Yeah.
So we literally eliminated them at the same exact time. We were not talking about it.
No.
Neither of us really even knew what we were doing. We were just kind of doing what we had to do.
Our own thing. He did his thing, I did mine, and
but it lined up perfectly.
Exactly.
So that is a really fun story for all of you.
Well, and I have to tell you about this helper was, my heart just broke for him, because he was literally drugged and forced to do all this shit. And then he was part of his rehab was to help us clean this shit up.
And I also got that he was the very first MK Ultra experiment.
Yes.
So this was long before MK Ultra had its facilities. This was a long time
Yes,
ago.
long time ago.
He was the first person that they experimented on using drugs to control them.
And it just broke my heart. So
Yeah.
as soon as we got done with this, then he went back to continue rehab. I don't know when he's coming back to help,
Yeah.
but he is a serious super soldier, and in the future he may be back to help us, but he did his job, and I'm forever grateful. My heart just broke. I can't even imagine knowing you were the one that did this shit, and how are you going to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's doing much better now.
Yeah.
He's, it's going to take him, at least 2 days to start reacclimating. But yeah.
And I don't think he'll want to come back out from rehab. I think he'll want to stay there for quite a bit.
Yeah, he probably will. Maybe we could go visit him once in a while.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was off the charts, and yeah. Okay, so.
But if you want to know more about our super soldiers allies, look inside of Cryogenetics 2, inside of the glossary of the allies list. It does talk about our super soldiers.
And so, I'm working on another web page.
Emphasis on this.
Yes, yes.
No, it's all in correct timing, not in divine timing. It's all in right timing. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
If our time isn't, it's like we have keep more and more and more stuff. And how do you get this online for people to see when more comes in? And yeah, but we're doing our best. And spoiler alert, we have a new egg. Well, it's a new egg. Okay, it's a new egg that we just created that is about the egg that's already there, that has the flat realm reality and our reality with all this planets. Yeah. So that's coming soon. Working on that, and it's going to be awesome when we're done.
Definitely, it'll be well worth the effort. It'll be well worth the wait. Enjoy the anticipation while you can.
That's right. And it looks like we're way over time. So
it's getting dark out. So I need to start heading home.
He needs to head home. And so if you enjoyed this, and I hope you turned up this speed, because it makes it much more fun and gets you through it. So please like and subscribe, and give us messages in the
share our videos, leave comments on these videos.
Yes, the comments are important. We love your comments, so please do that.
Yeah, and if you want to, you can go to both of our channels. There are links to both.
Yes,
and you can just leave an emoji on there.
That would be great. We'd love that. Yeah. All of our 200 people that come and see it. That's going to change. That shit's going to change, and
it will.
A lot of people that need these are going to start being able to find us.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that, love you all. See you soon.
Ta-ta for now.
We don't know when, but it'll be soon-ish. Okay, bye-bye.
Perfect.